Snowman, how are you? Ozzy, thank you very much, my good friend. I'm going to show you guys some really cool stuff today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Snowman. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, we partner with our friends here in San Diego. We're obviously not in the coffee business, but we are in the performance business, performance enhancement. Everybody's searching for the performance. 3 minutes to go time. Yeah, Ripman, I'm going to be discussing that. I am suspecting, and I'm going to show you guys all of it. I'm suspecting Tuesday or Wednesday, but maybe even sooner. I need to speak to my team. I keep forgetting this is Wednesday. I sometimes think it's Friday. Sorry, guys. There's just so much that we've been working on. Yeah, Nebius, all over the place. All over the place. But I really think that on the Nebius side, this is, if you weren't in it, you should have been trying to get in it, in the low 80s. I think that's probably long term going to be a very, very good acquisition, because they sold a sold out offering at 92 to very sophisticated investors who, again, were not hesitating. Rick, a volume profile with TI. If you tell me what that means, I can definitely set something up. Okay, very cool, Rick. Very cool. All right, you guys. It is basically top of the hour. We're at the 1 minute mark. We have a really nice sized group here, and there's a reason why I've got this homepage up. Okay, and I want to really talk about the message. We redid our homepage. We kind of left the golf theme, which we've had since Masters of last year when Rory won. And I want to show you what you're seeing here. Like, look at this screen real quick and notice SGBX. Okay, SGBX, SGBX. And when people come to see us, we tell them something very important. We're cycling through some messages, but I want to kind of make you understand the message and what's behind it. Notice the power of real-time AI momentum detection. SBGX is right here, right at the top. And picture, you just caught the big move first, and now you unlock your hidden potential. I'm going to move this here. Before we jump into the money machine, I want to point out that our AI that is part of our premium product that most of you have, and if you don't, again, it's not something that you have to have, but certainly there's a reason why people have it, okay? And it's because of this. So here we picked up SGBX, and I want to bring it on the 1 minute and just show you that, again, huge momentum moves here, okay? Picking it up, it went up a little bit, traded down. We gave you a re-entry at 442, and then it took off and went as high as 576. Right now at 517. So the point I'm really trying to make, thank you, Snowman, is that we preach what we market. We are the only ones that have a system that has this superb custom-built database that is looking at big moves on a daily basis, and we're not backtesting it the way the traditional backtesting model works. We are studying what just ran up and looking at those kind of profiles and then trying to find it the next day, and that's how we catch SGBX. Here's a similar one. Let me move it to 5 minutes right here. Here's an example. Once again, boom. You can see the relative volume. This thing never had a pullback, and the market's been tough. So we obviously, the software is looking at a bunch of different time frames all at once. It's looking at the longer term and the short term, but focusing on the near few moments of like what happened last week, which stocks did what they did, and which ones stayed. And that doesn't mean you catch everything, because the market's very dynamic. But I do want to point something out here, which is, we redid the whole Holly channel. Let me adjust the size here real quick. And we made it easier for you to follow these winners. And what I want to point out here is, so on the left side, we've got a tree map of things that are moving, and it's today and previous calls. And we have a race of things that are moving. And again, there's two different ways to look at the data so that you're all, and these are old picks as well as new picks together. But the idea is that you're never in a position where you're going to miss it. And I want to just showcase. So we can sort it by, this is the stuff that's moving today. So for example, today, SGBX, it's up 53% from the previous day, and we're catching 16% of that today. Okay. If you look at NUVB, and we talked about this before, notice that right here, that's how you change the picture-in-picture view. You can go right here and pull up NUVB. Okay, so this is this call right here. Now, remember, you guys, that if it was super easy, everybody would be doing it, and there'd be no need for subscriptions, and everybody would be rich, and probably nobody would be trading anyways. But here, our software found a fingerprint, and it took a little while, but this is what I'm saying is this whole time, right? You're seeing this data right here as well. And here would have been quiet, 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 quiet. And then here it is, you're above the signal. And from this, after this day, it never went below it. Okay. And is now up 81%. And so I have it sorted by change from the entry, just so you can see that just over the recent term, okay, what has our software been hunting? And obviously, you guys know that we have risk management, and we don't say just buy and hold. You got to manage your risk, and risk is a personal profile that everybody has to figure out on their own. Like it has to do with your account size, your risk tolerance, all these things there. But just, I want you guys, before we jump into the money machine, I want you guys to kind of see what is happening here. So this is from October 1st, 175%. September 26th, 116%. October 6th, 99. And these stocks, why do we look at these versus like the Tesla? Let's just example here. Not saying Tesla doesn't move, okay? But my point is, how much of Tesla can you really get at $400? It's the efficiency of capital allocation, okay? There's just only so much that a person without extreme wealth can do in a Tesla. I'm going to bring up Nebius here real quick, just as an example. Nebius is something that I would not trade in the AI now because I'm long at 26.26. Okay, it's a different sort of a thing. This isn't a wealth accumulation trade, which is something we all strive for. But in order to get there, you have to kind of trade it first, And my point being is, even though it's up 4%, how much, this is something that people don't quite process. A stock like this, think about this for a minute. 51% in a day. And think about how much you could accumulate here. And you can trade this 2,000 share blocks, 500 share blocks. I want to remind everyone here, once again, we're talking about momentum and why it's so important to process this information. I showed you all that my son, who was on his day off, bought this like around $2. And in one day, it went from 2 to a high of like 12. Okay. You're never going to get that in a Tesla or a Palantir. It's just never going to happen. And Trader 77, yes, there are other options, and Nebius has some of these as well. But even still, they will not go from 2 to 12. Or in this case, very rarely are you going to see this. The action is here. That's why we bring this to your attention. And I'm just pointing out, like, look at this one. Just an example of this move where it goes from right here, to 230, which is where you are right now, roughly, well, a little bit close to it. But this is how rare is it to be able to catch something like this and never be in a down move at all? These things are all things that we are processing when we are looking for entry candidates to give you. And of course, like let's take a look at this today, just as an example. This has all those signs, right here. By the way, entry, okay, and then all the way up to 12. But volatility is there. This is not just, this happens all the time. So you're stopped out. I mean, it can take 2 or 3 tries to catch the move that really starts to go. And this is why we keep these very tight stops for risk management, so that you are not stuck over here, down 20%. You can try something at 3%, because again, the volatility here, remember, 3% when you're moving for 43% is not a big deal. That's where we are at. Okay. And my point is, notice that these risk lines, like if you, for example, I mean, I'm just going to showcase this real quick. If you were trading something like this, and I'm going to give you an example of how I do this all the time, and this is not the first time that I've done this, but I'm going to just share here. I'm going to go to MM1. I'm going to buy 400 shares, and I'm going to buy it now. Okay, so there are times when I look at that AI positions that are not profitable yet, and I get into them myself, and then I set stops myself. And here, for example, I would do a very tight stop. There's no need to risk it. But the point is, the AI did all of this number crunching, and the possibility is that, I mean, you can see what's going on here. 15 times relative volume. So what I'm trying to make sure I showcase and I demonstrate is that you're not missing it just on, if you missed it the first time. In fact, here you have an example where it ran up, and now there's lots of volatility. Okay. All right. So this was my AI summary preview, the SGBX, the homepage example. And now we are going to go into the money machine, and I'm going to show you what we've been adding, and just want to make sure you guys have the total wherewithal of what's going on. So number one, I want to show you guys something else that I do with our alerts that you may not. Ozzy, I love hearing that. And again, we appreciate your feedback, because that's what that's all about. The money machine, people often confuse technology. Like, I'll give you an example. You can, if I wanted to say to Grok or ChatGPT, write me a blog article for trade ideas, it would do it. But I wouldn't just copy it, paste it, and then send it out. It has to be edited, retuned, redone. Technology is not doing everything for you. It's kind of like helping you get someplace faster, but you still need to be involved. And let me showcase something that I'm doing here. Okay. I have this alert window, and I'm going to get to why I have it. I'm going to right click, say save and share to the cloud. Hello? Where are you? Why are you not working? Come on. All right, always some bullshit. All right, guys, hold on a second here. We may have to shut down and restart. Remember, I'm always showing you guys the latest demos, so this is nothing new, but just bear with me here for a second. Stop. You have seen all of this before. I wish it was not like this. It's okay, just hold on there. The Visual Studio version is in a little bit of a, so I'm gonna have to shut it down. You can see it like got all of my memory. Okay, so now it's sort of back to normal here. And we're going to go back to Visual Studio. And once the hourglass does what it does, we're going to hit start. That's me and my wife climbing Mount Whitney back in the day. In case you guys want to know what I look like. I mean, it's about 12 years ago or more, but still, looks similar. Okay, let's jump into MM1. Okay, all right, guys, back to where we were. Let me see if I can find that alert window. Well, I'm not. What I'll do is this. If you want that specific one that I did, I don't want to have to shut down again for reasons that are obvious to everyone. So what I'm just going to do is, for anybody that wants this one alert window, I'm going to show you what I was doing and give you an example using configuration. So let me just show you something. Okay, so I had this alert window, and we have added the ability for you to trade alerts into the money machine. I'm going to show it to you, but I wanted to showcase something that I'm not sure all of you know, but I'm going to demonstrate it. First of all, okay, this is a SAT question. You guys notice my mouse right here? Notice I'm not doing anything, right? Do you guys know why the symbols are changing in my charts? Can anybody answer that question? See, it's like NUBB, SGBX. Yes, Rick. Very, very good. There's a lot of people that really may not quite understand the power of idea surfing and why it's so critical. So, what I'm doing here is I'm idea surfing the AI while I'm looking at the money machine. And that's happening because this is what's causing the surf. You can see NUVB. Just giving you an example. I'm going to switch up again here. SGBX. Okay. So I'm idea surfing the AI without having to type symbols. You guys know that just like trading, the hardest thing for people to do is actually press the go button. It's actually the same way with idea generation. The way we designed idea surfing is to give you an ability to watch it like a movie, without trying. And that way, sometimes you catch like here, for example, by the way, if I put my mouse on the chart, it stops. Okay. If I pull it away, it'll idea surf. But the reason I did this is I'm like, oh, okay, SGBX was that signal that we know was, 333. And by the way, we were in this one. Excuse me. It's not the first time we, I think, no, 333 is the signal price. I'm sorry. But my point is through idea surfing, I just caught this potential pullback. So the example here would be, and I'm going to move this and then I'm going to get to where I'm going. MM1, buy now. Okay. Notice I have the red dot right here, instantly adds the stop. And I am going to move it right here. So this is calculated precision risk. Through idea surfing, I may have missed the initial signal. It ran up quite a bit. There's the resistance line. Excuse me. And you can see the next resistance, 589. But I got in here, $96 to test. And if it holds, I mean, the potential is that's how. So, Rick, the reason you don't have it is it's coming out in the next beta. Alpha. This is all, remember, we've been doing a ton of stuff. See this right here? You got the S. So I can click right here, support, and it'll have the date of the last time it hit it. So you can go right to the support and resistance levels. I mean, in a lot of ways, you know that you can trade this. You can go to different stocks. Let's put up Tesla, see if that'll work. Okay. So let's say you go right here. You can put a short sell signal here. And this is your buyer. Potentially. Think about that for a minute. Any stock you like, this is your buyer, not right here. And this is your sell area. The idea is that obviously it's not always going to be perfect, but we put these lines in here for you to be able to have an advantage and edge over everybody else who's just flying blind. And again, remember, this is all tech that nobody else has. You can get this a Trading View or Trend Spider, this is where you would have been buying, and your sell signal is right here. Now it can break through it. It really, really can, but just going by what we've discussed, okay? I'm just trying to make sure everybody sees how multifaceted all of this is. So here, now I sold this, okay? And does it get any easier? There's your resistance. Again, it can break through it, you know. But I'm playing the statistical card counting type of methodology that allows you to have an edge over people who are flying blind. Okay, now we're going to dive into the important thing that I wanted to show with this, and then we're going to dive into the money machine. It's going to blow you guys away. Okay, remember, right now, I don't have it going. See, it's ready, but it's not going yet. Okay, so this is a window, and remember, if you want this, I'm not going to try to share it because last time I had to shut down everything because I'm running the dev build, but you can now trade alerts from the money machine. I'm going to show you how to do it. But I want to showcase something here that some of you may not know. So here's a window that I have that's called Super Pickup System for the Money Machine. It's a long hunting window, okay? And I'm actually going to make it 1.5 and 15 is fine. And what I'm doing here is notice I've got the position in range 30 to 55. So this is kind of like a bottom picking type of system, like a turnaround. That's the idea here. But I want to showcase something that I'm not sure if you knew that we had. And by the way, here's an interesting thing. Notice I'm using the position and ranges. It's so important. This is some of the most powerful stuff that most people aren't scratching the surface of. Camilla, I'm pretty sure we have this recorded on our YouTube, and you can always ask for a link if you shoot support an email. Position and range lets you really dial in the pattern. So here you can see it's off of lows, but hasn't started going, but over the last 5 minutes, it's close to 5-minute highs. So I'm going to hit OK first. And by the way, here I'm avoiding the ETFs. That's why I have the earnings per share. Okay, so let's take a look at what this looks like. 924. Okay, so it's at the, it's right here, very tight. But you can see what's happening. It's ran up, gone down, ran up again, and here it is. Okay, this is actually 2 minutes ago, so it was right over here when we started. But I want to show you guys and look at the pattern. 44 relative volume. Once again, this is the kind of stuff where, let's look at this one. So you guys know what's going on here. Relative volume. So by the way, just so as an example, this is the kind of stuff that I typically avoid, because once it's doing this, there's all sorts of like arbitrage shit going on. Let me show you how to get rid of that. And if you didn't know, so you can right click, go to configure, and all you have to do is go to Windows specific filters, and here I have the relative volume set to 2, but I can do, and this is kind of a cool, I can do a max of 15. Okay, and what happens is then like you're getting stuff a little bit before. Okay, so here's again the example. You're getting stuff a little bit before it's the idea. You're getting stuff before it starts to go. So let me show you something that many of you may not be aware of. Okay. And I want to give you an example of how to really dial stuff in. So notice today, once again, this is what we would call a bifurcated market. It's much trickier, and you can see on the market pulse that the longs are, the shorts are starting to pick up. So this trade right here that I put on, I'm not saying it's gonna do it, but I'm gonna dial this in right here. And I've traded this before. You know, I've been doing lots of ins and outs. So that's why you see, so I'm bringing my unrealized PML and today. So this is the stuff I'm in right now. So bought this FULC fulcrum, as we said, put in a stop, and you know it didn't. Right now, market's coming down a little bit, but again, I'm just trying to show you this in action. You know how using our technology with all the risk and stuff like that. But here's what I want to showcase that you may not know. Okay. What if you really wanted to dial this in when the market was moving in your direction, let's call it, okay? I'm going to go to Windows specific filters and I'm going to search QQQ. Okay. NASDAQ changed today. So I can add a filter where I can say on a percentage basis, it's got to be up. So right now the NASDAQ is up 0.2%. So if I say 0.3, okay, just giving you an example. Notice there's nothing happening. Well, it was up an hour ago. You know, right here when the market was up, you had one. But my point is, you can do something even more. Let me show you. So I go. So we have daily 0.3. And I was using this as an example. So right now, nothing would be coming through because it's waiting for the overall market. It's like you want the wind at your back. Okay. So I'm going to go to search and I'm going to go to QQQ. Okay. So check this out. But you can say NASDAQ change 5 minutes and you can add a filter and you can say something like 0.01. Okay. That just means that over the last 5 minutes, it's trending higher. So do you see what I'm doing here? This is, again, like your surf report. I'm avoiding, like if all of a sudden the markets start getting annihilated and a huge sell program hit, I just wouldn't be entering into anything. So here, the last one was today at 7:28, and you can see what happened there. That was this right here, and it's pulled back since then. But my point being is that this allows you to dial in your. I'm not saying it's perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect thing, but it excuse me, it allows you to dial in your entries and exits when at least the overall market is working with you. Notice here, the pulse is starting to pick up positively. Okay, so you can see this. We're watching this all the time. Okay. All right, so we got this, and for anybody that wants this one, again, I will give people the ability to pick this up and take a look at it. But now we're going to dive into the money machine. So we're on MM1. I'm going to exit all of this just so we're clean. I'm going to show you the new settings. So use alerts for entries. So remember I told you guys that this right here, oops, hold on, come here. This is an alert window. So this could be a signal to buy, okay? So I can use alerts for entries, and I can use I can use price alerts for entries. That's my own price alerts, but I can also create an alert strategy. And alerts are much more, let's call it refined than top lists per se. So you can really dial it in much more to your exact liking. You know, you can see when something very specific happens and get in that way. Okay. So we have, we have trade wave. Notice here, auto add manual positions. I'm going to be demonstrating this. And today what I'm going to be doing is use race for entries, and you can use it for exits, but that's very, very churny. And I'll explain on next week's live stream why we have this, but let's just dive in here. MM1, switch, okay, race. I'm going to hit say, use race for entries. I'm going to be in 5 of the top 2. Okay, I'm going to save profile. I'm going to stop this, start it, and let's hit start money machine. Aha, I made a mistake. Sorry, guys. I want to show you what I forgot to do. So I'm going to close this, stop. Okay, so notice I've got this race right here. Okay, right click, I need to do this, can attach to money machine. Does everybody see that? Okay, boom. So now right click, can attach to money machine. Now I'm going to say start. So I can close this down. And, again, the updates of the race, it's moving around a lot, and I'm in the top 2. So sometimes this will update even before this. So here's what I'm in. Notice all of the risk is there. And I can be in up to 5. So I should now, I think, be getting into CMTB very shortly, potentially. And I don't have the races for exits, but next week we're going to be doing a lesson on why that exists. So we're really working on this strategy. So here you go, NAUT. So now I'm in 3. And one of them just exited because my risks are in, and again, I was trading this a little bit before. And remember, look at what we're doing here. Very soon, we're going to be adding a feature that will literally prevent me from turning it on unless I really say, okay, now I want to buy this stuff. Okay, let me show you something else though, real quick. Real quick. Super cool. Stop money machine. Okay, money machine settings. Short. Save profile. Start. Did I go on the right one? Okay, so do you see what happened? Huge sell program is hitting. So what I did was I just pivoted from going long to going short. Some of the same stuff. I mean, this stuff is, and I'm not saying that it's going to 100% work, but because these are very big momentum plays, but also a lot of volatility exists right here. So Bill, you can run multiple money machines at the same time. I just don't have it on this version, and it's not available just yet in the alpha. but we are going to make it so that you can run multiple MMs at the same time. We're in fact going to have channels where you can go to a channel and run a money machine on that channel, and then go to another one and do the same thing. The idea that we're trying to say is that we want to be able to very quickly give you a way to experiment with this stuff and try things out and see what's working. And here, again, in this particular case, this strategy that I'm doing here, you would file this under counter trend trading, because this is a very strong stock. But in a market like this, that's when, if you can catch it and notice all the risk, very, very tight stops. You go to money machine settings, stops and exits. I have a 2% price stop. And we're doing this in the next version that, for example, you can't trade dollar stocks with 2% stops. So like for dollar stocks and cheaper stocks, there's going to be a cent move minimum, like minimum 8 cents or 7 cents or something like that. So it's going to be either one or the other, so that you're just not churning the spread on smaller names. Excuse me. And notice once again, reversals, reverse on protective stop. So like if I go like, I can't do it right now, but let's say, for example, and I just want to get you guys to think about this, okay? And how advanced we are in what we are doing. Okay, imagine for a minute that we shorted this. It stopped out right here, but you have this reverse on protective stop. So you wouldn't just get out, you would go long. And I've shown this before, but I'm just saying that contemplate the power that we're putting in your fingertips. Okay. So auto add manual positions, very, very important. We're going to do some of that right now. Okay. So we're in these, nothing going on. We're short CNTB. Okay. Let's take a look at EFXT. Okay, there you go. Perfect example. Trade ticket, MM1, 555 shares. I'm going to short sell. Okay. So what should be happening very shortly, where's EFXT? If you go here, you see my risk protection. So let's see if I do that here. There it is. Notice that I did not have to do anything. The computer set the stop for me all automatically by me just having this option. So basically anything I manually trade, the money machine will now manage for me. Does everyone understand what I'm talking about? So when you are so here's this mining corp. We're gonna do a trade ticket. We're gonna sell now, hit OK. Okay, and so once again, you can see. And what I'm going to do here is you can always work with the money machine to adjust it on your own. No problem. And here's my AMRN. Once again, working with the machine. So the key here that I'm trying to make sure everyone understands is that with the money machine, like right now in the market, well, the market's, by the way, zigzagging. It's all over the place. We were up quite a bit. We were down 100 and whatever. Now we're going to back. I mean, the sell program waned. So when you are in a market like this, okay, this is, by the way, what's great in terms of using the money machine. This is where you're trying different things, seeing what's going on. And here, perfect example of, I tried to see if a sell would happen, and it bounced kind of hard right here. And there isn't always an inference that needs to be made where some critical lesson occurs. And this is something why goes back to our idea surfing. And I bring this up quite a bit. Your mind does not always learn things the way people think that it does. Okay. Sometimes you just need to view and learn that a pattern like this can happen. You record it, and that's it, and you move on. You got the risk controls in here. Doesn't mean it's going to go up. You're not in the future telling business. Like again, everything. This is what you were caught into. We had a big run up. Now, running down. There are times where no matter how much you want something big to happen, it's not going to happen. And the beauty of the the money machine is that the amount of reps, the training reps that you're doing in it, is just so much higher than anything that you would ever do on your own, regardless of your overall attempt to learn or get better. This is a reps business. You have to learn, like learning to lose small by having, trying something, having the stops in, trial and error. Nobody gets good at trading by getting in and being right, and that's it. That just doesn't happen. You have to really catch, like a lot of people get confused with this notion that they think that trading is a indicator game or a highly quantitative game, but in reality, what it is it's a game of feel. And what we are doing here is we're algorithm hunting through feel. You can see there's a sell program, and then they turned it off. And what we're trying to do is, and again, this is going to be coming soon. Like right here, there's just really kind of nothing going on with our P&L. It's kind of, open P&L 48 minus $41 currently. Nothing really happened. And we just exited one. Again, all part of the process. We're looking to automate the kind of the go, no go, pause, play type of concept, because obviously if you were going to go short, the time to initiate would be like right here, but not right here. And if you're going long, this actually may be the time to do it. And let me show you something. I've never done this before, and I don't even know if I can. I'm going to highlight this real quick. Hold on. Oops. Don't forget about these. Let's see what happens. So I just reversed. See, we have these flatten, half, double, reverse, limit out. All of these buttons here are designed to help you pivot better. Snowman, I love, excuse me, I love hearing that. Yeah, trading Holly longs on the money machine is another great way to do it because we have the symbol lists, they're all in there, and you're really then just utilizing the tech in arguably the most efficient way. So I just showcased that I did a reversal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the money machine. Okay. And I'm going to stop the race. And I'm going to go to money machine settings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the stops and the exits. I'm going to say reversal on protective stop, reverse twice. So again, the idea is that, hey, I'm going to try this thing 2 different times, see what happens. Okay. And I'm going to go to money machine settings, and instead of short, I'm going to go long. Okay, same concept here. And let's start. Plug and DIBS. Same happens. One of my favorite things to do Ozzy, again, I love hearing when people really get and utilize the technology the way we design. I really want to speak to what Ozzy's talking about because one of the hardest things for people to do is pivot mentally, and the reverse functionality allows you to do that without you needing to do anything, because oftentimes it's really not like you don't have to the reversal allows you to catch it in either way. Like if there's let's go back to, I want to just really talk about something real quick, and this is the example that I'm using here. The reason I'm using this is for volatility. Okay, this thing, once it went, we're talking about 500-600%. And we're all trying to catch this move. And by the way, it did a 395 to 884 yesterday. Something was going on. The reversals allows you, now you could churn a little bit, but as Ozzy is pointing, let's say you go long, okay, like here. So I'm long, plug. And yeah. And you can see I'm going to give it just a little bit more room. And my exit right here, $36. Excuse me. If this comes down and starts going lower, once I'm out, I'm going to go short, because what I'm saying is that, hey, it could have pivoted. Now, obviously, that doesn't always work. Not always. But, I mean, in this particular case, you're either picking up an incredible bottom, which, by the way, I like trying to find these. I mean, this is, to me, is one of these very low risk type of trades. If you can catch these pivots from one, this is exactly the LFS pivot. If you can get something from 185 to go to 3, I mean, you're almost at 100%. So this, to me, is like super sweet type of a set. But the reversals allow you to take advantage of your own mind's kind of limitations, which is people, once they get onto something, like if you go long, it's very difficult for you to go short. Teddy, I don't think the Epstein stuff is going to be crashing the market. Well, again, I honestly don't really know. I think everybody already knows what's on the Epstein files, and in my opinion, it has nothing to do with Trump, but that's just my opinions. I think a lot of stuff is going to come out at how dirty the political game really is. So there could be big volatility, no question. But volatility is something that we can take advantage of. So without really saying, hey, I know what's going to happen, we should just be prepared for lots and lots of volatility, which goes back to Aussie and the reversals. Imagine being able to just relax there and know that if you can catch a trend, you're going to be in it long or short by simply utilizing this. So important. So important. Okay. So as you guys see, one of the things that we are working on is this concept of what I call the one. I want to try to get into the LFS type of trade and really just try a few like that, but primarily just be in this one that goes. Okay. And that's not something that happens every single day, certainly. But if you look at SGBX, for example, I mean, you've got this 41% move. I think there's a gap up here. Yeah. We're hunting for a lot of this, and our AI is going to help you catch it. And again, think about like the things that you're seeing here: SGML, FULC, and I think I already got. Let me see what I know. I exited this one already, so I bought and then I sold because I exited my positions. But if the market turns around, once again, you should not hesitate to trade the signals that are not yet working, because they still have all the statistical analysis behind them to really help you take advantage of the big moves. I mean, Rick, I don't know if I'm saying get ready to short. I'm just saying lots of volatility for sure. But volatility is our friend. And as I said before, this reversal thing that I just did, this really allows me to kind of trade this in a comfortable way, and by the way, there could be if it takes you $200 or $300 to catch the move that then goes 300 or 400%. My son made $4,000 on a 498 share position. He bought 498 shares of LFS. He trades at $1,000 a pop. So he bought $1,000 worth at $2, sold 100 shares at $3 just to, catch the big move, because a lot of times they do totally turn around. And then the other 398 ran at one point it was actually at 19 after hours. And had he not been at quarterback training, he probably would have sold. But here, you guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 so far. It doesn't happen all the time, but up 70 here. Remember, I do lots of stopping and starting, but my primary goal here is to really showcase the big things that are coming out. Number one, support and resistance. We've completely revamped the news. So that's going to be a big new addition for the next alpha release. Much better news. All of this news or bullshit's going away. We're dialing the news in to help everybody. So there's going to be that, the support and resistance lines, and then this ability to trade races and use alerts. So that cloud link that I was showing you that I couldn't share, but I will later. And don't forget the reversals. Very, very powerful. Vince, that's a great question. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to give that ability to people. It's not there yet, but I totally get it. And I've often said the same thing. I want to, like, once I start my money machines, I don't want to like keep chasing, like I want to like not have down $381 because I want to try something new. So yes. Hey Stocks, how are you, buddy? Good to see you in here. So Vince is asking a good question. If you use money machines, should you not use B+ strategies? They're not mutually exclusive. It's just that B+ is really the first generation of automation, and money machine is the second. So once we have given you this ability to use alerts for entries, that is like the B+ stuff that that you were talking about there, Vince. So you are basically able to take all the take all the money machine advantages and just port the B+ strategies all to money machine. That's how I would do it. Yeah, Trader Joe, it's coming. So I'm gonna, as soon as I'm done here and I clear my throat, get some coffee, I'm gonna talk to my good friend Brad and see what is going on with our release. It's coming, and this is going to be a big one, you guys. But do not forget what I was showing you earlier. A totally whoops. And I've done this before, but the AI has been revamped to make it easier for you to figure out what's going on. Okay. So if you haven't taken a look at there, make sure you do so. We are at the top of the hour, and it's really gone quite quick. Excited to show you guys all the stuff that we did. Doing a little bit of, let's just walk through these little trades right here. And I want everyone to see the real advantage here is the fully automated stops. And as you know, once you get into profit mode, it will retain profits for you as well. Right now, they're all in stop mode. But this is the proper way to trade. It's the astute way to handle things. And the key is that we're trying to automate what works well. And we are in the trenches with you. As you guys know, I trade, I show you my positions, my accounts, everything. So you understand that we're not just like focus grouping the functionality here. We are going through the pains with you. I actually, and I know this sounds a little odd, but in my E-Trade account, I lose money sometimes, and I don't want to say it on purpose because there's no one who loses on purpose. But what I do is I try lots of different stuff with real money to make sure that the things that we're speccing out has a real feel to it. FP, shoot an email to support, and I'm sure we can do something for you there. Okay. All right, you guys, love everyone. Please tell your friends about trade ideas. You guys are our venture capital. We've never raised money. We've done it all ourselves. Without you, we could not do what we're doing. And we compete with heavily funded competitors. And we believe that we have the most premier momentum detection technology in the world. And again, just the visualization of being able to look at, and I'm using this just as an example here, because obviously the money machine has it too. But just being able to see stocks compete in this way on a percentage basis, you know, and here you're just seeing what's working from the AI point of view. Like here, like, can I just show you guys, there's something kind of interesting. This BFLY trade, okay, that I'm actually long. So I am long a signal from 1031 that is 3% below the AI signal, but it's up big today. So that means like whatever we were hunting, it's materializing. So these signals right here, SLI, below the signal line, but what if you can catch it right here? You know? So, okay. Alondra, you know, like anything else, it's not so much that it's overwhelming. It's just that you need a little bit of time and practice. And people often make this mistake of thinking they can start trading and instantly just start killing it. If it took you a year and a half to get comfortable, no matter what the market was doing, because remember, with trade ideas, you're going to go long or short. It doesn't really matter. You're going to find the direction. But why would a year and a half be considered a long time? I mean, think about like a good golfer can take you a decade to get good. You know, you have to start in middle school and hope that you're able to then go through high school and college. And, you know, think about, again, other professional endeavors where for some reason in trading where you arguably are competing against people. You know, I've been in this game since 1995. Okay. And lots of pain is what taught me some of this innovation. So don't be overwhelmed. Just understand that we're just simply showing you movement. This is momentum detection. Nothing to be overwhelmed about. And don't overthink. People overthink all the time. That's the biggest problem with people, too much thinking. Instead, just try, react, and make an inference from the trials. Okay? Shadan, thank you very much. I'm hoping I pronounced the name correctly. Or Shadani. All right, you guys, love you all. Thank you so much. Next week, I believe we will have the release before next week's live stream. So very excited to do that with you all. This was a huge attendance today, and I'm grateful for that. Our team tries really hard, and we're excited. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your week, Wednesday, and we will be here next time. Talk to you soon.